What is up, traders, and welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be analyzing a company that has been seeing increasing revenue growth and earnings per share growth, and that company is Netflix. We'll be looking at the chart, analyzing the key levels, and giving some key price targets that we have on Netflix. So whether you're a swing trader or a day trader, you definitely don't want to miss out. First of all, if we're looking at the chart here on the daily, the stock has been absolutely amazing. If you take a look here on the weekly chart, the stock actually dipped on the April lows here on the 50 EMA when the stock was here pretty much undervalued at around $831, and ever since then we've been up around 50%. Now, don't worry because the stock is still bullish. As you guys can see here, we actually have been holding the 50 EMA quite well. We actually dipped below it. We had earnings, and the stock actually sold off for, some profit taking, I believe. And the stock dipped down, and we actually found some support and now recuperated above the 50 EMA, showing that there was some intense buying happening around this important confluence zone. Also matching with this anchored view up here, this green line that you guys see here on my screen, which was plotted from here, which was the last earnings and saw this upside move. So buyers that came from the last quarter also bought here, and that's where we saw that support level. Now what I would like to see here is these buyers that came in and seen this nice move here approximately beat the supply that came here on the earnings, on the most recent earnings, and beat them and see something like this in the price action. So if you guys look at my chart, I see something like this where we see a candle that breaks above here, holds a little bit, and then manages to break above the upside. A candle that would break the uptrend and instantiate that new higher high momentum where we can put our stop at these key important levels, for example here or here, where we have the most important areas of demand here. Now we have price targets on the stock towards $1,458.74, and this is due to the fact that we are seeing an overextension of the Fibonacci move. If you look here on the weekly chart, the stock is not overextended. We believe that there is more upside to grow. Pretty much the stock is well undervalued compared to its discounted cash flow model. As well, if you look here on the overall earnings, if we see here, they reported pretty much $7.20. Compare that to last year, so pretty much the year-over-year change here, where they had $4.80, pretty much almost doubling their earnings per share growth here, pretty much in the past year. So that's what we've seen the stock, ever since then, been an amazing return, almost 91% of the investment, which has been extraordinary here on the company. So yeah, overall, I'm looking bullish on Netflix. Right now, we're seeing the typical compression pattern where we see some sellers from this high here that came in around here before the earnings, and some buyers that came in here, and we're trading in between these two anchored V-bulbs. And once we see a break and instantiation of the higher high, after we see a break, we see some upward trajectory towards a price target here of $1,458 here on Netflix. Now, as well, if we take a look here at the Netflix put-to-call ratio, which is a gauge of seeing how the options market is pricing the overall move over the upcoming weeks, we see that the call volume here is bigger than the put volumes. For example, we have the 22nd of August call volume being 21,000 compared to the put volume being 14,000, and we see this where the call volume is bigger than the put volume for the next couple of days until here September 9th. September 5th, we see the put volume becoming bigger. So we see pretty much some resistance going to be found here. For the short term, we're seeing some more bullish upside here on Netflix. And it's very important to figure out that we're seeing as well some implied volatility around 27%, which is not too bad. As well, we've been seeing that since the stock is in a compression pattern, this higher call volume is going to push the stock higher since those individuals are going to have a higher delta within their options or a higher probability of being within the money. So we're looking pretty bullish on Netflix as well, and the price action and the options market is implying some future upside moves here on the stock. Now, if we closely look towards here, the overall most recent news here on Netflix, we have some content here from Piper Sandler saying that the momentum is strong with Netflix. As we can see, they're stating that Netflix is one of the best big tech stocks to buy right now. As quoted in late July note, Piper Sandler analyst Thomas Champion stated a buy rating on Netflix and kept his price target at $1,500, which is very close in line with our view towards $1,487 here on Netflix. The analyst argues that June's Nielsen's top 10 viewership data showed a solid rebound in Netflix audience members after a period of softness. He linked the turnaround to the launch of popular titles such as Ginny and Georgia Season 3, Blind Spot, and Squid Game Season 3. We all see that Netflix has a heavy slate for the second half of the year, with new seasons of Stranger Things and Bridgerton expected to draw in more subscribers and keep the momentum going. Champion also points to growth in Netflix advertising business as another potential revenue driver. According to the analyst, the company's subscriber and revenue targets remain within reach, and the combination of popular content and new monetization revenues supports to the current bullish outlook on the stock. So as you guys can see, Netflix is a very strong company. Currently, the stock is heavily undervalued compared to the DCF models, as well as a chart. We have price targets towards $1,458 or $1,458 based on current Fibonacci extensions. We see the price target going towards the upside and confluting with the price target given by the analyst. So, if you like this video, feel free to subscribe to the channel, give it a like, and as always, stay uplifted and don't let the markets whip you guys out. I'll see you guys on the next one.